Do low-calorie diets work? Low-calorie diets are really popular because people are always thinking about, well, in our society, we've put in a frame of reference of calories, and calories are the most important thing. When the reality is that could not be further from the truth. Yes, there's a simple start when you think about calories in, calories out, how you lose weight, but fat loss, composition, all these other things take into account metabolic rate, resting metabolic rate, all these other things. So I'm gonna keep this real simple, not try to overcomplicate this thing. Can a low-calorie diet work for you? Absolutely. Can it happen for a long period of time? Absolutely not. A low-calorie diet is short-lived. It's not something that should be longer than, for me, I always say 3 to 4 weeks would be the max. Nothing longer than that. What happens is you crash your metabolic rate, and then you end up basically, your body adapts. So the analogy I like to use, which is real simple for this video especially, and this is kind of how I phrase it. Imagine your body, it's a fight or flight. So your body ends up adapting to that calorie count. So if I only eat 1,000 calories, eventually what my body's gonna do is just slow down its metabolic rate and basically hold on to everything possible, right? So you'll all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm gonna put 1,000 calories in. You're starving your body. Your body knows that. We learn, we adapt, right? We can adapt to anything from the physical perspective. So what happens, our body just basically ends up adapting, and then we only burn 1,000 calories. So everything we're eating just gets stored up in order to basically preserve for energy, because the body understands you're not feeding it, right? So that's the number one basic analogy that I use when it comes down to calories. So my recommendation, and again, on all these videos, I like to kind of leave a solution in there. It's really hard to get into how many calories for the individual without actually speaking to the individual direct, looking at their metabolic rate, knowing their weight, their muscle composition. So it's not one of those things that I can discuss on a video. However, the easiest way to say it is this. If you are overweight, all right, or you're trying to lose weight, you could start with a low-calorie diet only for a few weeks. Then you want to remove that as much as you can. Stick to something that's a little bit more consistent first. Early on, I always try to recommend more. So you eat like 6 to 7, even 8, up to 8 meals. They can be smaller, and do that for a while before you go anywhere else. So usually if you do a low-calorie diet for 3 weeks, you want to get off that, start moving to smaller meals, lower calories in each of those meals, and then you want to eat those more frequently. All right, and then that's like 6 to 8 times a day. So every 2 to 3 hours. And then from there, you can kind of pick a lot of different things. Intermittent fasting is one of those things that's a lot more popular nowadays. Fasting has a lot of ties back to like ancient health. However, it doesn't necessarily mean it's for everybody. It's got to be a regimented, strict, disciplined diet. So if you're just looking for a more flexible style of eating, I usually go with the 6 to 8 times a day. Stick down to more protein, fat based as far as the food goes. Stick to whole real food carbs, and then we can go from there. Eliminate a lot of the sugar. Normally, you don't have to go low calorie, but just by eliminating a lot of sugar out of your diet, you'll see a ton of results. You don't realize how much sugar creates inflammation. When we look at diabetes and what it does to us as a whole with insulin and how big of a thing it plays from the cellular level, these are all things that will take me a lot longer to get into, so I'm not going to do that today. But again, the low-calorie diet, which is really popularized, understand that you're going to hit a wall. So I do, again, 3 to 4 weeks max, and then you need to get off that and start eating more frequently, increase your calorie count up, so that way your metabolic rate does not crash, and then you're going to sit there and wonder why you are gaining fat, gaining weight, and not building any muscle. So it's not a long-term longevity thing. So you guys got to make sure that if you you are doing it, again, get off it as soon as you can. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe, enter your email into our website, nomoresoftness.com. You'll be notified for any of the blogs or vlogs that we end up doing.